Cleaning your shoes. Let me show you how it's done. What's up everybody, hope you're doing well. We're back with a new video. It's been a while since we made one of these. We've been real busy delivering pre-orders and regular orders to our customers. And so people have been wearing our shoes for a while now, and they keep sending in their questions about how do I take care of these? How do I make sure they last a long life and they keep looking good? So that's what I'm going to show you today, how to clean, condition, shine and protect your shoes. Not these are brand spanking new. We're going to take a look at a different pair of shoes. So personally, I clean and condition my shoes about once a month, so they never get like very dirty. But today I'm looking at the shoes of an individual that has a less disciplined shoe cleaning approach, being my business partner. So let's take a look. Oh boy. Okay, so these are extremely dirty. I've never had a pair of leather shoes that have gotten this dirty. So these are going to be a challenge to clean for sure. I really honestly can't imagine how you even get shoes this dirty.
Well, yeah, the thing is, I work in photography and videography, and I'm one of the founders of Lennertsons, so I needed to take these puppies out for a ride. And sometimes at a concert, I get beer spilled on them, and then yeah, this happened.
Okay, so sometimes you get into really messy terrain, not good for your shoes, but let's have a look at how we can fix these. So these are so messed up, I'm gonna need to take them outside. Let's go. All right, so at this point, you're starting with the shoe how you would normally start without all the muck attached to it. Right, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do is take out the laces of the shoe. Okay, and second, you're gonna want to put some shoe trees into the shoes. They're gonna stretch them and it'll be much easier to apply different creams, conditions, and products. The best piece of shoe care advice is to always put in shoe trees when you're not wearing the shoes. See, you're gonna have something to apply pressure to when you're cleaning the shoe. Okay, so now the real cleaning process begins. First thing is cleaning the shoe off with a brush. Just getting the dust and the dirt out of the creases. So you want to brush the upper, but also get into the creases of the welt and the stitches, because obviously that's a place where a lot of dirt can collect. So next up, we're still not at conditioning the shoe, we're still at cleaning, because these have gotten so dirty. We're going to clean them with a soap, and not just any kind of soap, but saddle soap. It's basically one of the only kinds of soap you can use on leather without damaging the leather. You take a damp cloth, you start rubbing the soap until you get like a soapy, foamy leather. All right, there we go. You don't have to overdo it, but it really can't hurt. And you just start applying it to the shoe. It's also great, you don't have to do this every time apply the soap, but if you've applied shoe cream and wax a bunch of times, that will build up. So sometimes soap is just great to get rid of those past layers and put on a fresh new coat. My cloth is getting black and dirty. It's not just dirt, it's actually some of the color that's in the leather that you're taking away with saddle soap. You're always gonna have that, it's no big deal. If it's a decent leather, you're not gonna like strip it of its color, so don't freak out. Get into like the crevices, get it everywhere. Don't forget the tongue of the shoe. It's a good idea to let this sit for a while, let the soap penetrate the leather. So while we do that with this one, we're gonna start on the next one. When you got a shoe like this that has like a light color welt, or even if it's a dark one, doesn't really matter, which is also made of a leather. These ones got leather soles, so we're gonna clean those as well with saddle soap. So anytime you're applying water to the shoe, you're gonna wanna let the shoes dry. Don't try and speed up the process by putting your shoes next to a heating source, because they'll dry way too quickly and actually you'll damage the leather that way. To round off the soapy process, you're gonna take another damp cloth, a clean one, and just rub off the shoes so that any soap residue that didn't set in but was left on the surface, you'll wipe that off. Then let them dry for like 5 or 10 minutes until they look dry. So now we're done cleaning the shoes, we're moving on to conditioning them. Normally a regular color cream would be sufficient. It adds color back to the shoe, it shines the shoe, and it also nourishes the shoe. So it's a conditioner in and of itself. But because these have been so battered, we're gonna first use an actual conditioner to really nourish the leather and moisturize it. Okay, so you gently apply a little bit of conditioner. A little goes a long way, so don't overdo it. You just rub it all over the shoe, all over the upper. Pro tip, also apply some conditioner to the welt of the shoe. So next we're gonna use a shoe cream. It's gonna add a little bit of color back into the shoe, a little bit of shine, but it's also gonna nourish it a little bit. Important note is to always use a high-end brand. It really does matter. The ingredients are all natural in this one, for instance, and on a cheap one, you'll often have like a petroleum-based wax or cream, which isn't good for leather. Right, so you take a shoe shine cloth or an application brush, whichever you prefer. You dab it a little bit into the cream. Here it's even more important to use a little. If you use too much cream, it'll actually work against you and it'll be really hard to make the shoes shine. So a little goes a long way. Try to apply it and rub it into the leather evenly. Also mind with this light color welt that you don't be too rough with it and put black cream on the welt, because you'll have to go back and clean that off with saddle soap. So be mindful. So now that the cream has set in, we're going to give it a first round of buffing and put a little shine back into the shoe. Important note, use a different brush than the one you used before to clean off the dirt, because that one is dirty. So give the upper just a shine all around. You don't need to apply a lot of pressure, but speed can help. So you can already see the difference between the left one and the right one. The right one is still a little dull, hasn't been buffed, and the left one is getting back to that natural shine. So when you've applied a cream and buffed the shoe, in most cases it's gonna look a lot better than it did before, and it's gonna be sufficient. Now, I think I can make these shoes look even a little better, so I'm gonna take it a couple of steps further. So next up, I'm gonna be applying a shoe wax. The difference between a wax and a cream is that a cream penetrates the leather, conditions it, colors it. A wax sits on top of the leather, so it just creates an extra layer of protection and it's more easier to get a bigger shine out of it. I'm not gonna apply it to the entire shoe, but just to the toe box to get a little extra shine on that part. Again, a little goes a long way. Don't overdo it or you'll actually get less shine. All right, and again, we play the waiting game. All right, so this has set. Now we can do a final round of buffing, first with the brush and finally with a cloth. So one of the final steps is taking care of the side of the soles. You can apply a neutral cream that would especially work great with a light color sole like this one. For this one, even though it's a light color sole, I'm not gonna use the neutral one. I'm gonna use this reddish medium brown one. Why? Just because I think it's gonna look cool. And again, we wait and then we buff for the final time. So at this point, we're pretty much done with these. If you want, you can add a water repellent spray if you live in a place where it rains a lot. In Belgium, this is very much the case. And this is the final waiting game we're gonna play. If this dries up, you might see some like droplet shapes. In this case, we're just gonna do one more last buffing to even it out and you're done. All right, so I don't know about you guys, but I think this is a major improvement compared to the Muddy Bastards that we started with. Obviously, they're not new shoes, they've been worn and they've been worn hard. So it's always gonna be visible, but it can add a little character to the shoe. But you can see if you put a little love, attention and care into your shoes, you can keep them looking nice, clean and shiny. All right, take care guys.